How's it going, guys? Coffee here. Today I wanted to go over the current Atlas strategy that I'm using that has been pretty profitable for me as well as being pretty fun. And what it is that I'm currently doing is that I am fully in on using Abyss as well as using Abyss compasses here, as well as Gilded Abyss scarabs. So what you'll read here is on the Gilded Abyss scarab, it does ensure that any abyss area that doesn't lead to an abyssal depths does lead to a Stygian spire. So what this means is every single map that I run, there will be there is at least 3 abyss areas. Typically there is going to be at least 4 though, because you get your 1 guaranteed from the map device, your 1 guaranteed from the scarab, your 1 guaranteed from the sextant, and then you have enough chance for an abyss to show up that you typically will always get a 4th. What this does mean is you're getting an abyssal depths typically pretty close to every map, if not about 2 out of every 3 maps, which is giving you a very high chance at the boss uniques, which some of the ones for the minions are going to be extremely profitable. Even if you don't expect to get any depths purely just off of selling Stygian Vices alone, these do sell for 9C per. If I change this 10C tab here to a 9C tab, you know what, let's go ahead and showcase this. If I change this to 9C, I will immediately get spammed for all of these eye level 86 Stygian Vices that I have here. I have probably close to 20 of them. And what these are doing is, again, people are constantly crafting with these. They need them for everything all the time. So they are highly sought after. And they do, yeah, people are always trying to buy them. So it's a constant source of income, just a minimum of 36 chaos per map. The map device costs 2 chaos. The Gilded Scarab costs anywhere from 4 to 5. And then the Sextant is 1 to 2 chaos per. No one is really buying the Abyss Sextant, so it's not really that sought after. Personally, the other additions that I have in regards to Abyss is I have 5 points in Packed with Energy, and where did it go here? The other 3 points here for Nico with mining byproducts, just for an extra amount of Azurite, because I am using Rusted Scarabs on everything. Azurite right now is extremely valuable because the 1 socket resonators are selling for close to 3 chaos a piece right now. And then on top of that, I'm using Shrines and Legion. The amount of points that you are putting into Legion can be swapped into anything else you want. Because you're running 6th gate and you're already or 7th gate rather, and you already are putting points into all these other gates, you can pretty much run any other content you want instead of Legion if you don't want to. For a while I was running Ritual, for a while I was running Delirium. Run whichever you prefer. The Ritual strategy is pretty fun as well with Arbitrary Tenants. I just have ADHD, so I will forget about the rituals a lot of the time, so I try not to run content like Ritual or Metamorph where I can just forget to basically collect the reward. Yeah, so on top of that, the other things, again, we're picking up Expedition, but we're basically only picking up the big node here, as well as extra explosive radius, and the logbooks, extra chance at logbooks. We don't need any of this extra chance to contain an expedition because we are just running Rusted Expedition Scarabs. So the Scarabs that I recommend for this are just Polished Legion. If you want to spend the extra money, it will typically pay for itself. I just try not to go buy Scarabs if I don't need to, so I'm just going to use what I have. Gilded Abyss Scarabs, Rusted Sulfite, Rusted Expedition, and Rusted Legion. The reason why we are running the Rusted Sulfite Scarabs is for this Packed with Energy node here. As you can see, it's going to give you over 100% increased damage and 45% extra movement speed. This does come in handy because with running Abyss, where you have to get, you need to have the area for it to be able to spawn all of the Abyss circles. You are going to end up needing to run a map that is large enough to sustain those. So like if you try this on a map like like Mausoleum or something like that, it will be too small and it won't allow you to spawn all the content. So I typically run these on Dunes. Dunes has a really good divination card pool right now with Fortunate. All of the Abyss monsters do have chances to drop the divination cards just like any other maps on the map. And you'll see here with the all the abyssal nodes how many maps we're actually getting. We got some fresh scarabs in here, so we'll be able to see here if we can kind of go through this here exactly how many we got. So let's go ahead and start this map up right now, and then we'll take it from there. You know, go ahead and do a map here. As you can see, the sections I'm using, it's just Gloom Shrine, as well as Abyss. We do select Abyss on the map device. If you do want to run something slightly more expensive, you can just run Legion on the map device instead. I like to just do Abyss right now while I'm messing with this Atlas strategy because I find it kind of fun to, and you're guaranteed making your money back from it just from a guaranteed Stygian device every time, no matter what. So it makes it pretty easy here. Let's go ahead and start off with Shrine here. Pretty much what you want to do, you do want to grab these sulfite veins as you see them because they are increasing your damage. You can see Gloom Shrine kind of doing its work here. But I do play a build that's safe enough to not need to worry about anything here. Can't really die to anything. Unless I stand in some degen or something for a long time without actually doing anything about it. But the only way I'm gonna run into issues. For the Abyss nodes here, you do want to ensure you don't accidentally trigger the second one. If you do, you can kind of chase them both. They do give you enough time to kind of like chase them both down. As soon as you get the Stygian Spire to spawn on the first one, you can focus on the second one. The Spire won't despawn or anything, so. But you do need to make sure you're bouncing between the two of them because if you don't go to it in time, then it will despawn. It's like already in progress, I guess you can say there. Let's do the Legions while we're at it. We got the Gloom Shrine. Does make the Legions a little bit easier to do Gloom Shrine on them. Not requirement, of course, but this helps since I'm not a lightning arrow character that can just fully clear everything instantly here, but also a lot tankier than a lightning arrow character. And I don't have to pay nearly as much attention as I did when I was playing that. Well, let's go ahead and get here. You can see, as usual, Legion kind of paying itself off very quickly here. With the nodes in Legion, you're going to be getting a lot. Even if you're going to be running the better Sextants, or the better Scarabs rather, the Polished, so you get more Warhordes. Those are typically worth the extra money. I just didn't feel like buying Sextants, or buying Scarabs rather, so I'm just using the rusted Scarabs that I do have here. When it comes to Expedition, you're basically just ensuring that you don't run into Immune to Chaos, so you hover your little icon down here. As long as you don't see Immune to Chaos in yellow, then you know you're safe to just kind of do whatever you need to do. So I'm standing in some sort of degen here. The runic mobs do like to try to dunk on you sometimes as soon as they spawn here. So, but I like playing the Big Bomb Expedition because I do not like stopping to try to read all the nodes. It can add a lot of extra time if you're having to like really read everything. I don't really try to min-max it that much. I don't think it's worth the time, like to be missing one specific thing or missing some logbook chance, things like that. So it's not something I try to focus on. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Accidentally popped that Abyss. We'll get to that in a second. Once we bought these chests here, or these Warhordes, double check, make sure we didn't miss any down here. No. Okay, let's go follow that Abyss wherever it was. It's over here. I do not know which one of these is the Solaris mob. It's this guy, I guess. If you are going to run a strategy like this, though, I do recommend you have a character that is either going to have like headhunter buffs or something to where it's going to be able to survive everything. This map strategy can be a little rippy. As you can see, there's a lot of rares spawning very quickly. So if you don't have a build that either kills them instantly as they spawn, or a build that can kind of just handle everything blowing up on you and not die to it, then this might not be the map strategy for you. But if you do have a character that can handle it, it's pretty fun. You know, there's decent loot with it. You don't really have to worry about too much here. There's a spire spawning here somewhere then, wherever it may be. Again, there we go, another Stygian Vice here. The best thing about this strategy is the fact that you are getting these multiple Stygian Vices per map, which again, they're selling for 8 to 10 chaos per. It depends on how much people are crafting. You can just wait, and if you want to list everything at 10C, eventually you'll just get a bulk buyer who will just come through and buy everything. If you just price them at the same price that they're always going at 9C or whatever, they will still sell very quickly. Or if you just price them at 1C less, people will start buying them in like stacks of 5 and things like that. Go through here. You do get abyssal depths at a pretty high rate in these comparatively. Just because of how many abyss spawns there are. It gives you a lot of chances every single map in order to get an abyssal depths. I'm not sure exactly how often I'm getting them. It's maybe once every other map, something like that. I haven't really been keeping count though, because I'm just having fun messing with some other strategies. I was running this with Delirium for a little while and with Ritual, but I didn't really like it with Ritual because I have a tendency to forget to check my rituals. So yeah, I try not to do that. Oh, it's a lot of stuff to loot here, though. Yeah, as you can see, this barrage of all of these rares, you can see why if you're not playing something that tanky, it could give you a little bit of issues. You are typically going to have to make a whole second trip back in here to get loot. If you are picking up a lot of stuff. I mean, this isn't even picking up that much. A lot of it is just scarabs and things like that, so... But between Legion and Abyss, you are ending up seeing a lot of this stuff. I mean, I'm hiding the majority of everything for the most part, other than some simple stuff here, and you can still see that we're getting a ton of stuff. So let's go and finish this, finish the Legion over here, and then we'll go ahead and kill the boss. Yep. Yeah. So much in here, we are going to have to come back through and do a sweep on this again as we come back. Let's go get Mr. Blacksmith over here. Let's go ahead and take these out. So as you can see, this is just one inventory of loot here. This is pretty common. You are going to be getting a ton of scarabs, again, a ton of Stygian Vices, jewels. I typically don't even bother really looking at the jewels or the Stygians. You can hover them if you want, but I just dump everything into this 8C tab. Yeah, whatever sells. If I get like instantly pinged by someone because it was in their live search, then I'll actually take a look at it as it pops off or as they go to buy it, just to see if it's something that, again, either I priced wrong or that you know, again, hit their live search, something like that. I have my filter. I'm hiding any like splinters that are like under, it's like 4 or 5 stacks, something like that. As well as I'm hiding the majority of the incubators, other than the ones that I know are actually any good. Let's check these real fast for anything worthwhile. And we didn't get anything worthwhile, so let's go ahead and dump these back out. Basically just checking those for +1 on any of the weapons, or you're checking for spell suppression on the things. Like I've hidden any non-evasion bases for the fractured items, and then we're only looking at like weapon types that are actually going to sell, like bows, and then the caster weapons for +1. So yeah, that's a map on that. Again, you don't need to be running the same sextants or other things. It's a pretty low investment strategy. Like you're investing maybe like 8 to 10 chaos a map at most, and you're getting your guaranteed rewards specifically just from Stygian Vices, which I just realized I forgot one on the ground. So yeah, you're getting a guaranteed at least 3 Stygian Vices every map. Typically you're going to be getting at least 4. Because of the fact that you're getting a minimum of 3 abysses, and you're basically getting 4 almost every single map. So with that, you get to sell the Stygians. That's a guaranteed money every single map. And other than that, if you have any questions about it or comments, leave them down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And other than that, see you in the next one.